broken. Some teams will see something they haven't seen in a long time, and that is the playoffs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Main Event Status Sports Show. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. This show, of course, is brought to you by Haps TV. Make sure, if you haven't done so, join us on Haps. Download the app, folks. Can't stress that enough. The app allows you to do so much more and allows you to interact and get your comments on the screen. We definitely appreciate you guys out there joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope. But if you want your comments on the screen, I have to let you know that the app is the place to be. What up, Mike Patton in the house, Ashley Baker in the house, Liza Donnelly in the house. Appreciate y'all joining. Week 14. This is it. We are what a eventful NFL season. And now we got some teams that's going to either get some more space in the playoff race or they're going to be eliminated. So let's jump right into it. Before we get into this week, we definitely going to bring up the fact that the New England Patriots have a losing record, folks, in a rematch of not one but two Super Bowls within the past 25 years. The Rams took on the Patriots and finally got that revenge, even though it's not the same. They would beat the Patriots this past Thursday, 24-3. Can Bill Belichick miss the playoffs for the first time since 2008? And even then, he was 11-5. It's just that the Dolphins, I believe the Jets also had a better record. So we'll find out. I expect the Patriots to miss the playoffs, to be honest with you. But let's get in this week. 1:00. Let's get started. We got Tom Brady coming off a bye week, and we all know he's like 10-2 after bye weeks, as he will take on the Minnesota Vikings. He's home. We know they need this win. They're 7-5. Can you imagine if they lose? And Tom Brady misses the playoffs as well. I know a lot of people have them winning the Super Bowl or going to the Super Bowl, but they are a team that, considering who's on the field, when it comes to January football, it's a lot of experience there. So if they get in, you got to take it seriously. But I do think it's possible for them to miss the playoffs. Shout out to Alfred Jones hopping in. Appreciate you, Alfred, for watching. Coming from Mombosa. So appreciate you tuning in. So like I said, we got Tom Brady. I like the Patriots. I like Tampa Tom and the Buccaneers to win this. I just don't see them losing. The Vikings 6-6. They, did a lot of trades, including one to the Ravens. But I just don't see, even though they're 6-6, I don't see Kirk Cousins going down to Tampa getting this done. I could be wrong. I just don't see it happening. So we're going to go ahead and give them that one. Then we got the Cardinals taking on the Giants. Now, the Giants are 5-7. Yes, they're 5-7, but if you've been paying attention, you know that they are tied. Well, technically, they have the tiebreaker, but they are tied record-wise with the Washington football team. They will take on the Arizona Cardinals. Yes, the Cardinals are traveling. I look for them to win this. The Cardinals are 6-6. They need this win if they want to remain alive in the playoff picture. And so I got the Cardinals winning that one. Then we got the Chiefs and the 8-4 Dolphins. Dolphins known to play spoiler early in this, with the Patriots. I would love to pick the Dolphins in this one, but this is going to be a measuring stick game, folks. When you look at the Dolphins, this is where we're going to find out how good they are. I got the Chiefs winning, but if the Dolphins can keep this a 10-point game, I think they're a team that we want to pay attention to coming down the stretch. It is in Miami, so the weather is favorable to everybody, in my opinion, but who knows? I just don't see the Dolphins losing. I don't see the Dolphins beating the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. And then we got the Titans and the Jaguars. Shout out to my brother Mike Patton. I was just watching his broadcast before I jumped on, and like he brought up, the Titans lose games they're not supposed to. 1-11 Jaguars. I can't see why they would want to win. An opportunity to get that number one draft pick hangs in the balance. Granted, the Jets are 0-12. but I just don't see them wanting to win this game. Let's be real. If I'm, Khan, I can't remember Tony's father's name. We all know Tony Khan, owner of AEW Wrestling, but I just can't see them wanting to win this game. It just wouldn't make sense. So I look for the Titans to win this one by at least 20 going into this one. And then we have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. This is a game that the 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 Bengals will probably lose. The Cowboys looking to rebound as they get ready to, after that horrible loss on Thursday, what was it, Tuesday Night Football. So I think the Bengals will lose this one. I think the Cowboys will go ahead, take care of business. I know my sister Ashley Baker would love to hear that. I think we'll see a explosive Cowboys offense in this. We also got to remember Andy Dalton goes home. So this could be a win for him. This could be a huge win. Time will tell. Said Derrick Henry stars as the boogeyman, as he get ready to go and face the Jaguars. That's coming from my brother Mike Patton. Let me let y'all look at this real quick before I gotta take a quick break. Let me let y'all just look at this Hollywood touchdown. Anything can happen when you are live, folks. It's just the nature of the business. So, moving on, we have the the Texans, the Houston Texans going to Chicago to take on the 5-7 Bears. Both teams are, floating and I should say flirting with mediocrity. And I think the Texans going to win this one. I don't think the Bears, something's not right in that organization. We all talk about Mitch Trubisky, and then obviously Nick Foles coming in, but something's just not right. I don't know what it is. It looked like it was purged to win. I listened to Brandon Marshall when he had on his pod. He was on All the Smoke, and he talked about when they had Lovie Smith there, and Lovie, they missed the playoffs and they was like really close. And he felt, if they brought the team back, but they got rid of him and a few other people. And it just seemed like they haven't been able to really be what they could be. So, I mean, yeah, they had a win over the Bucks earlier this year, I believe it was. But I just think they're going to lose this one. Houston is still one of those teams. That's another franchise that's just, you got rid of arguably one of the best receivers in the AFC, one of the best receivers in football. You got rid of him for nothing. So, I think they're going to be cursed for a while, and Mike Patton says, add to Chicago's misery today. What else happened? Did I miss something? I know basketball has returned, but I haven't watched it just yet. So I don't know if there was anything that could have possibly happened that I may have missed. Just a reminder, if you're on Facebook, just download the app. I tell people all the time, sometimes I may miss the comments, but if you have the HAPS app, your comments can be presented on the screen, and it gives you an opportunity to interact. And guess what? I can give you a link. You can jump right in and join me for conversations in the future. So, and then also, if you have HAPS, go ahead, sponsor the show. I'm giving you the whole show for free, but if you want to, drop a couple dollars, it's commercial free. You don't have to worry about, some ad that has nothing to do with what you're saying. This is free content. But if you want to support somebody, support me, go ahead, $5 to give a cup of coffee. I appreciate that one. Shout out to, got a couple sponsors on here. Shout out to them as they are highly appreciated. So let's move on. We got a rematch of Super Bowl 50, but this match has not too many of the players that were in place, as both teams 4-8. The Carolina Panthers will host the Denver Broncos. Toss up. Who wants to watch this game? I think the Panthers win this one. I know the Broncos are starting to get themselves together a little bit, but I got the Panthers winning. They home, so we'll see. Let's move on. This one doesn't really need much introduction. It's the Seahawks coming in at 8-4, really should be 9-3 and lost to the Giants. But they will host the New York Jets, the 0-12 Jets, Jets, Jets. I don't think anybody in their right mind would be betting on the Jets to win this game. But if they are and the Jets win, I can see them winning lots of money. But I think the Seahawks win this one. I think they win this by a blowout. Appreciate you, Mike, for the Super Clap Award. I appreciate that. So moving on, the Colts taking on the Raiders, and we all know last week, in case you didn't, let me show you how the Raiders got it done. So less than 10 seconds left. Boom, the pass, the finish, it's over. Derek Carr gets a win, and that's the tale of a defeated season, folks. When you find ways to lose the game, you find ways to lose the game. I believe this was a cover 0. I'm not the X's and O's guy when it comes to football. Never played it on the field, so I'm not going to sit there and disrespect the people. But I do believe I heard them say that was a cover 0, and that's not something you should run. I can tell you, I wouldn't have ran that play on Madden, but nonetheless, and the defensive coordinator was fired after that. So, but Colts and Raiders, this will be a great 4:00 game as the Colts are 8-4, still looking to win that division title. Yeah, they're looking to win that division title. It's an opportunity right here. They need this win. The Raiders looking to get in the playoffs. So this is one of those games that, the separations could happen. I'm going to go with the Colts to win this. I know they playing in Las Vegas, but for some reason, I like that Colts team. And, Phillip Rivers going against, his former team. I mean, his former division foe. So we'll see. Then we got the Washington football team coming in hot off an upset that you may call it, but I called it actually happening. An upset win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, to give the Pittsburgh Steelers their first loss of the season and to allow the 72 Dolphins to rejoice as they are still the only undefeated team in the history of the National Football League. With that being said, the Washington coming in with this momentum, they have an opportunity to win this division, and I think they get it done. Especially we'll see. I think we'll see them extra motivated if they see that maybe they won't. I thought the Giants played earlier. No. I could have sworn I mentioned the Giants. Yeah, they did. These logos, man. Yeah, so if the Giants lose, I could see Washington just kind of being amped up a little bit more. Like I said, I really like that defense over there. I really like Chase Young. So I got the Giants, the Washington football team winning this one. I know they're going to San Francisco. Well, they're going to Arizona, wherever the 49ers are playing. Obviously, Mike Patton, that's his team. He could tell you. But I got them winning this one. And then we got the Eagles and the Saints at 425. This is a big deal for Eagles fans, as you see Jalen Hurts, who right here I'm showing the clip where he got his first touchdown pass of his career. He has been given the keys to the kingdom as he will be starting this week. So I got Jalen Hurts and them losing. I just don't see them beating the Saints. I know the Saints, they just find ways to win 10-2. They are going to Philly. Maybe the weather may play a difference in this, but I don't see it happening. But this is 2020. This is the National Football League. Anything can happen. We got the Chargers and the Falcons. This is taking place in Los Angeles as Falcons 4-8, Chargers 3-9. Got the Falcons winning this. They one of those teams. If I'm a Falcons fan, I think some things need to be shaken up. I don't know if it's Matt Ryan. I know he's a numbers machine, but they're not winning. They have not been the same ever since they lost that Super Bowl. That year they was hot. They was one of the most exciting teams, and they haven't been the same since. So, and it sucks, I guess, when you lose 28-3. Ouch. I mean, when you're up 28-3 and you still find a way to lose, sorry, buddy. But I got them losing. Packers, Lions, Aaron Rodgers. That's all it needs to be said. I think they should name Ford Field after Aaron Rodgers. 9-3. I think the Packers get this done. They are a yearly walk into the National Football Conference Championship. They always find their way in the NFC Championship game, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again. But I got them losing this one. I got them winning this one. They're gonna win by a lot. And then we got tonight. This is a possible playoff preview, folks. This could be a divisional round preview match as the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. Steelers 11-1, taking on the Bills at 9-3. Now, I know my good sister Ashley Baker says that the Bills, that the Steelers are not going to win the division. She has the Browns winning, folks. Now, in order for that to happen, the Steelers would have to lose 3 games and the Browns lose none. And in that process, they will play each other. But I got the Browns not winning the division. Pittsburgh's going to win this division. I guarantee it. But I do think they lose tonight. I think we saw, Chase Young said it. Baltimore exposed some things, as we always do. The Washington football team took advantage of it. Now it's Buffalo's time. The formula to beat Pittsburgh is there. Therefore, I think Buffalo wins this one. Bills are going to win this one, in my opinion, but Steelers missing Bud Dupree is huge. That coming from my brother, Mike Patton. So then we have the game of the year for Baltimore and Cleveland. Let's be real. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Last week, as I show you a clip, the Browns went out there and they did their thing, not gonna lie. They got it done. They destroyed, they destroyed Tennessee in the first half. But then Tennessee almost came back and won. So it makes you want to think that maybe these aren't the same Browns. But we also saw that Lamar and Hollywood have kind of found their rhythm. Now, I want y'all to look at this pass. Watch this. Lamar Jackson drops back and throws a nice bucket. Now, we got to give a shout out to my boy Brandon Richardson because we was talking and B. Rich was like, Lamar, all he does is bullet passes. All he throws is bullet passes. Right here, he just throws a nice one right in the bucket. And Marquise Brown, a.k.a. Hollywood, said, look, Lamar throws a pass like that, you got to catch it. You see it right there. He said you got to catch it. And there's so much that hangs in the balance. Wouldn't Cleveland love, and we all know the city of Cleveland would love to think that to win this game, go to the playoffs on the expense of Baltimore. You guys know the history there. Baltimore would love to stop Cleveland's chances. Now, this would be the first time Cleveland had 10 wins in so many years. I ain't even do the check, but I'm pretty sure somebody out there knows it. I got the Ravens winning. I think they are back on track. They needed a game like the Cowboys to kind of wake up. And we don't want to see, granted, they've been splitting with Cleveland the past few years. The last thing they want to do is lose this game because this really sets them back an opportunity. Now, I know some people here, there was some national media said, look, the Ravens are going to make the playoffs. This is their last really tough matchup. You look at this, all right, they play Cleveland. Then comes the Giants, the Jaguars, and the Bengals. The Ravens need to win this game in order. Thank you, Nancy K, for the Stay Safe Award. I appreciate that. They really need this game if they want to make the playoffs, but they want to be a force to be reckoned with. You can beat up on the little guys. That's what Pittsburgh did all year. But a lot of us would say we're not taking Pittsburgh seriously because of that fact, because they didn't play much competition. Now, granted, they beat the Ravens, but let's not act like the first game wasn't close. Let's not act like it wasn't without controversy. The second game had a little bit of controversy, and they was playing the Ravens' third string. They're playing my third string. So who knows? Who knows? I do think Cleveland will come out, show out, but we're going to find out. Are these the same Browns? Because the Browns are a team that could very well lose out. And that would be the most Cleveland Brown thing to do. It would be. So, but I got the Ravens winning this one. I think it's going to be a very tight game. I can see it ending up a field goal. I think what people will be saying for the next 10 years, this division will be between Cleveland and Baltimore. You're going to have Cincinnati playing the role that the old Bengals played. And what I mean is a decade ago, it was Joe Flacco, Ben Roethlisberger, and it was all about the Ravens Steelers. But then you had the Bengals with Andy Dalton, or before him, where Carson Palmer, they would, peep in. But it was always Ravens Steelers. I think we're going to see that shift. But then again, you can't discount the Pittsburgh franchise. So this is going to be a tough division as we start moving forward. I would like to see it end up like the NFC West. When you look at the NFC West, you look at the San Francisco 49ers, you look at the Arizona Cardinals, the Seattle Seahawks, and I missed the Los Angeles Rams. Think about this. In the past 10 years, all of those teams have made the Super Bowl. All of those teams have made the Super Bowl. So let's jump into the comments. He said, I hear you talking. Yeah, now see, Mike, I gotta agree. That's what scares me. The Browns running game is vicious, and they are not the same team that they was in week 1. But the Ravens are going to have to dig deep and be the team that they was in week 1 when they just obliterated the Browns. All right, so just to go with some comments from some matchups earlier. I got Bad Poor Jay. Do you think Minnesota has a chance against Brady and that Tampa defense? I don't. I think Tom Brady coming off a bye week, he's 10-2, but I think I think he's only lost 2 games. I believe he's had more than 14 years, but I don't see him losing. I just can't. I can't see them with the playoffs at stake and an opportunity. I just can't see. Remember, Tom Brady went there to do something that nobody has ever done: host the Super Bowl. So I got them winning this. I don't see them having much of a chance. Carnivore _if_ fat guy. He says, or she says, he says, I just got here. What do you think about the Giants' chance of beating the Cards today? The Giants will come out playing hard, but I like the Cardinals in this one. I think that Kyler Murray and them, they understand what's at stake here. This is an opportunity to go to the playoffs. So I just can't see. I'm not gonna say I can't see the Giants winning, because obviously they upset a lot of people, but I just don't see them winning this one. And I'm gonna pull up the playoff picture, folks. Because you know what, right here on StreamYard, we got this cool feature that allows you to share. Mike Grizz coming in the building. What's up? Appreciate you joining this episode. All right, as I try to pull up the playoff picture. Okay, let's see. All right, it's not coming up. I wanted y'all to see it also. Let's see. It's not coming up. All right, that's working. Maybe it's up in another tab. No. All right. So sorry about that. But this is Titans win, right? Yeah. Let's see who they play again. Oh shoot. Yeah, the Titans definitely won. They beating the Jaguars. I just can't see them losing. It's just that makes no sense. But if you haven't done so, make sure you check out Mike Patton. He's here in the chat, does weekly Titans coverage, and he said that the Titans do lose games they're not supposed to, but he has them winning this one. Packers offense have been hot, but the big question is their defense. They played well in the past couple of weeks, but against poor competition. Do you think that D can hold strong enough for them to make a deep playoff run? Coming from Elliot G27, the Packers to me are always a shoe-in. It seems like they're a shoe-in for the NFC Championship game. They find ways to get it done. And I know people try to say that Aaron Rodgers is a bad man and he's done some of the same stuff that Patrick Mahomes is doing. But yeah, I just don't see them. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I don't see them losing. I see them making a deep run, though. let's look at the playoffs. So I can't present this on the screen, so I'm gonna go ahead and read it to you. We got the two spots that's clinched: the Chiefs on the AFC, the Saints on the NFC. They're in. Cool. Saints will more than likely win the division. All right, we got that settled. Steelers, they would be if the playoffs ended today, they would be taking on the Colts in the first round. Now they are 11-1. Wait a minute. Oh no, they would be the number one seed. I'm tripping if the playoffs ended today because they do have the tiebreaker. So technically, the Chiefs would be taking on the Colts, the Bills will be taking on the Dolphins, and the Titans will be taking on the Browns. So if I got to remove some teams and add some teams. Of course, so not being a homer, but I'm just looking at the way the schedule plays out. I'm moving out the Dolphins and I'm moving in the Ravens. That's the way I think that's going to play out. And I think the Ravens will end up as a 7 seed and take on Kansas City. No, I actually got them taking on Pittsburgh in the first round and beating them. I have that happen. I think that the Chiefs are going to win out and be the number one seed. So let's look at the NFC. We have the the Saints are going to more than likely have the one seed, but don't discredit. There's an opportunity for the Packers to do so, but I think the Saints will get that one. Packers would take on. Let's see who's left. We got the Vikings at 6-6. They're in there. I think they come out. I'm putting Arizona in. Everything else, I think, stays the same. I think Tampa Tom and the Bucks make the playoffs. I just can't see them not doing it. I think Seattle. Obviously, they're going to be in there, but I think the Rams are going to take the division. I know it's going to get close. That could come down to week 17. And I'm going to remove the Giants and I'm putting in the Washington football team. And yes, folks, the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Carolina Panthers, the Atlanta Falcons are still in the hunt. But I got the Washington football team winning this. And in my opinion, they will face Tampa Tom. No, they're going to face Seattle in the first round. And we all know when that happens, Washington always loses. But I got them, but my Super Bowl pick, as much as I don't want to admit this, will be Seattle versus Kansas City. Now, that would be amazing. Mike Graves, Ravens have to make the playoffs. I agree. I think Mike Patton gets it. I agree. You're coming from Philadelphia. You got the Eagles beating the Saints. Okay, all right. I don't see it, but maybe you see something different. I know they're gonna be riding high of Jalen Hurts, and maybe the Saints are playing with borrowed money, and so who knows? But I think they're gonna win this one. I think, like I said, I think in the end, the Super Bowl, my preseason Super Bowl pick was the Ravens and the Seahawks. However, the reason why, shout out to Melanie Weiser, just subscribe. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Mike was saying it all year. Seattle's defense isn't good enough to make it. Who you got? The Rams could do it too. I'm not going. I don't think the Saints get it unless. I just don't. I don't think the Saints get that far. So, but I like when I look at all these teams. As much like I said, I would love to see the Ravens get there, but my issue is the offensive play calling. I think their offensive play calling is too predictable, and that's why I don't think they're gonna win. It says Chiefs win the Super Bowl. You know what? I think at this point, sometimes you want to go against the grain. Sometimes you don't want to agree with everybody. You don't want to say what everybody else is saying. But I think it's kind of obvious. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they're going to repeat. Now, will they be the first team to win 3-0? No. But I do think that in order for Baltimore to get there, I think they need a shakeup, and something's going to have to give. So, way too many weapons on the Chiefs. Exactly. We talk about that every week. They one of those teams that's honestly blessed. So I think the Pack have a good chance, but the Saints have more of a complete team with or without Drew Brees. They do, but the Saints find ways down in January to lose. Now, granted, they were, the referees did kind of step in there and mess things up. So, But they find ways. I'm like, yo, come on, man. What's wrong with y'all? But it will be interesting to see the Browns make the playoffs. But like I said again, the Browns could, this division could be wrapped up by the night, right? The Steelers win, they are division champions. No, I think if the Steelers win and the Browns lose, they'll be division champs, right? But if the Steelers lose tonight, which I do have them, I do see the Browns kind of having an extra motivation because then they could possibly control their own destiny and win this division. They could. So that it's a lot of things that's going to play out, and this is the most exciting time in football. You got football, you have Christmas coming up. Hopefully everybody's staying physically distancing, wearing their mask, but will be a very interesting stretch these next few weeks, folks. I know we got some of those 1:00 games. Browns could be Super Bowl contenders. How 2020 is that? Yeah, and that's something I would not want to see at all. Obviously, the Ravens fan in me don't want to see that. I know. I'm just not rooting for them. I'm not. It would be, but it definitely would be the most 2020 thing that could happen. But folks, I'm gonna get ready to hop off of here. Make sure if you haven't done so, check out my podcast, Breaking Through Glass Ceilings. This week coming up will be the last week for the year. Even though I'm thinking about maybe putting together a mashup that'll run on Christmas, would be like the best of, and that'll be the final one of the year. Still thinking about that. But like I said, with our podcasting, I will be taking a break with the Breaking Through Glass Ceilings, break it down Brian H., the wrestling realm. All that stuff will come to a break as I look to close out the year and mentally get right. Just kind of relax. But I will say this. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. The millennial media mavens is coming back. So stay tuned for that as we have a special show coming up for y'all. Enjoy your NFL Sunday. Make sure you tweet me at Brian H. Waters. Let's talk about football during the games, folks. This is the Main Event Status Sports Show. And